The Vital Bracelet Arena version 2.1.0 has been released, which means that the online functionality has now been shut down, and this is the update that Bandai mentioned a few months ago that is going to prepare the app to go fully offline. So the initial plan was that all of the online functionality will be shut down, and it was meant to be kind of like a staggered release, I guess. They would update it to allow for the offline functionality and then kind of still have the online parts. But it looks like they've just completely removed all the online parts now and given you all the offline parts, so that being the online battles, the practice battles, and the Bandai ID link, those have all been removed. But the remaining functionality, obviously the main one, the storage functionality, sending Digimon back and forth from the Vital Bracelet and all of the storage, so all of your Digimon that are already there are still going to be there, and you'll be able to transfer them from the bracelet to the app still. So that's still all there. The codex, so that is kind of like your Digidex, where all the Digimon that you've unlocked and seen are hanging out. Adventure missions, where you send out your Digimon out to get items, and you can do that between for 12 hours or 24 hours, and then of course items. So any of the functionality that didn't require the app to be online, you can still use, which is great news. In fact, that when the Vital Bracelet first came out, the first version of it, and I realized there was an app, I was like, oh no, this is going to be a problem once Bandai eventually discontinues the product. And then when the Vital Bracelet VE came out and Bandai released a new app rather than updating the original app, which I'm still kind of sad about, the concern even grew. Like, okay, well, we just saw the original app being shut down and you log into the old app anymore, you can't use any of the features and functionality that were on the old app, even the offline ones, such as special missions to send missions on to the Vital Bracelet, the Digivice V, etc., all those older pre-BE releases. So I was very concerned that about the whole longevity of the Vital Bracelet and its app not being around forever. So it's a great thing that Bandai has at least given us the ability to have the offline only areas still intact. However, there's kind of like a time limit for you to do all this. So you have to do it now, and you have until, I believe it's the end of October. But honestly, I mean, as of recording this, the update just went live, so it's the 6th of September, so you've got just under 2 months. You've got like a month and a bit, basically. So you have to open the app during that time, and the app will launch a little kind of window, and you'll say, do you want to download all your data? And you'll say yes, and it'll download. It takes a few minutes. Just wait for that process to go. Make sure your phone doesn't go to sleep or anything. So if you have an app like Wakey, something to keep your phone like not locked, like it doesn't lock or go to sleep or what have you. And then once that's done, you'll get a nice confirmation saying so, and you will be able to use the app again. Something important to note is the fact that, and I originally was like, oh, they deleted it, that your backgrounds will reset to the default one. They haven't deleted it. The backgrounds that you unlocked prior to the app updating will still all be there. It just removes the background and reverts it back to the default one, but you can set it again under the edit menu, so that's fine. You're not really losing anything there. Your Digimon that you had in your battle formation will still be there. You can still set them to be there, but it doesn't really matter much because the battles aren't on anymore, so there's no real purpose for having the formation kind of like mons there, other than just like a showcase of the first mons that you see. And of course the same goes for any of the non-Digimon or non-BE related bracelets. All the stuff's there, all the characters are still there, everything that you've got is still there. However, just no online functionality, so no battles, no fourth battles, and what have you, any functionality there. And of course, the the Bandai ID functionality is no longer there as well. So you basically download your profile onto your phone, and presumably, if you got a new phone, because all the data is now local, if you got a new phone, that would also carry across that data as well. So instead of it being linked to your ID like it was before, it's now linked like to your phone data. So it's downloaded your profile there. So that's pretty convenient. That was a question that I also had, like, okay, but what if I change phones? Do I have to keep my phone to keep my Digimon around? And the answer is no. I just have to like make sure I do the Wi-Fi backup or whatever the phone has. I know with Google, it's just like you sync it to your Google account, and then when you get a new phone, you type it in. It says, "Do you want to download your profile from the backup?" You say yes, and then it's pretty straightforward there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Presumably, that's sort of like the idea anyway. So the process for updating is fairly simple. The app itself should auto-update, and then all you have to do is open the app between now and October 31st, I guess. It's the end of August. Sorry, end of August. September. The end of October is when the app will actually shut down. So you have until then to download your data. Again, I would recommend doing it as soon as possible, just in case Bandai decides to pull the plug early. Also keep in mind that the dates, I'm presuming, are Japan time. So if you live in like America and your time zone is like a day behind, keep that in mind when you update. But anyway, I would recommend updating as soon as possible, as soon as you have connection to the internet. If you have connection to the internet, do it now. Do it while you're watching this video. I don't know. Just do it, or else you'll lose your Digimon. Of course, if you don't care about that, who cares? But if you're watching this video, I can probably say that you might care a little bit, or maybe you just want to know what's up. And this is what's up. So, in short, if you're watching this past, like, October 2024, and you're wondering how to do it, as far as I'm aware, and because I'm recording this in the now time and not in the future, there will be no way. Of course, fans are always going to try to tinker and try to make their own versions of things. We saw that with Digimon Re-Arise, but of course, legally speaking, those fans can't really talk about what they've worked on or what they are working on or planning on working on until everything's shut down, just because they don't want to upset Bandai, which is fair enough. And that's what we saw with Digimon Re-Arise. So I'm not saying that it's a guarantee that something will pop up, but as of recording this, there's nothing that we know in terms of what's been spoken about from fans. But officially speaking, you have until the end of October 2024 to do it. And again, if you're watching this in the future, there is no official way of doing it other than getting into a time machine and going back to I almost said August again, to September, getting that update, and then backing up the data, which, again, if you're watching this now, in the now time, before the end of October 2024, you can just do that now. It doesn't take that long, and then you can just close the app and just forget it exists, which is kind of like a weird thing. I want to actually pick up my BE again because, most importantly, with the removal of the online functionality, the app is actually working now. It's not slow. So I am motivated to pick up my BE again and continue on with my Digimon adventure and continuing on finishing up those last few BE memories. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to do a video about this, was thinking about doing a short, was like, no, I want to make sure I answer any questions that people might have, so that's why I kind of like rattled off a few bits that popped up over the internet over the day. But yeah, that's it for this video. If there's anything that I haven't mentioned that you're still not sure about, let me know in the comment section below. Like this video for Bandai actually giving us offline functionality. That was a huge surprise when they announced it. I was like, oh, okay, we can actually still use it. Thank you, Bandai. That's not what you did with the Tamagotchi meets, so pretty happy that we have an official solution to this problem, and again, it was a big concern of mine, so like this video for that. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!